Let me show you how to design your very own custom heart cake fidget clicker to 3D print with using Nomad Sculpt. This is what my model looks like in Nomad. Keep in mind that I'm going to be making this in Nomad, but you're going to add the fidget clicker hole inserts in your slicer because it's easier that way. You can upload your fidget clicker hole insert cutouts in Nomad Sculpt and then build around it, or use the cutout within here, but I feel like it's easier to do it in your slicer in the end because Nomad Sculpt can be a bit difficult to work with if you're trying to get precise measurements and you have to line everything up correctly. Firstly, we're going to make the inner part right here, and then we'll make the outer part. Then I'll show you how to make the cut in between so that there's space for it to fit in. This is what my Nomad Sculpt app looks like. By default, you have a sphere. If you're unfamiliar with the Nomad Sculpt app and you're kind of confused on how to navigate it, I do have a few other tutorials if you want to check it out. I have a tutorial for Nomad Sculpt along with Tinkercad for 3D design and modeling if you're trying to design your own 3D prints. I'm going up here, which is where I'm going to find all of my shapes, and I'm going to delete the sphere because we don't really need it. And I'll go ahead and add a plane. For all of your shapes, you want to go ahead and validate that. So click that green check mark or else you won't be able to use the tools on the right hand side. I'm not going to go through every single tool. I'm just going to show you what I'm using. However, if you want a more detailed breakdown of how to use Nomad Sculpt for 3D designing for your small business, I do have a Nomad Sculpt and Tinkercad course that you can grab down below if you're interested. It's perfect for beginners, especially if you're trying to add your own products to your shop. All right, we're gonna look at it from the top and you see we have a square. You can always reshape this depending on the size you want, but since we're making a heart, we just need a square. This is good enough. We're gonna use the mask tool and make sure you have symmetry on over here. And I have symmetry on for my X plane, so everything on the left will do the same thing to the right side. And I'll draw a little heart. You can either do it this way or you can do it without the symmetry and then draw your heart yourself. However, I want mine to be symmetrical, so I'm gonna turn my symmetry on. Now just draw your desired heart shape. That looks good. Color in the inside so that there's no empty space. You can fix up the edges if you want. You can also use this unmask tool. This works as an eraser, so if you accidentally drew a line like that, you can click that and erase the unwanted lines. Or if you accidentally drew a line like that, instead of doing that, you can tap your screen with 2 fingers and that will undo what you just did. This is what your screen should look like. There should be a heart in the middle that's colored in. Your mask might not be the same color as mine because I changed the color of my mask, but as long as it's darkened compared to the rest of the shape, then you're good to go. Then we're going to navigate to this upper right hand toolbar. This is where we'll find settings for all of our tools as well as our interface settings. We will use this right here, which is the same icon as our mask tool that we found. Click that. Mine is already set to extract because we're going to extract the heart shape from the plane, and you make yours thick by adjusting the thickness right here. So the height, you can bring it up or bring it down, bring it up, bring it down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it as tall as I want my inner clicker to be. This should be good. Then you can adjust your smoothness if you want. You see how that made the walls look much better. So this is before I smoothened it, and then this is after. I have everything set to shell for the closing action, and instead of hitting split, I'm just gonna hit extract. Now if you did it right, if you click on the setting that shows you all of your shape layers, you should be able to see 2 separate layers because remember we only had 1. Now you have a plane and then you have an external plane. Go ahead and delete the first one we had and you're left with a heart. You can fix it up if you want. You can make the bottom flat and the top flat. You can do that using the trim tool right here. There's a trim and a split tool. You can trim the bottom like that, make it flat, but I'm just going to leave it because I'll do all of the technical stuff in my slicer because I personally find that it's easier to do it that way. Especially if we're trying to have precise measurements. Creating fidget clickers or any functional design requires you to have precise measurements or else it just won't work as well, or you'll just waste a bunch of time and a bunch of filament testing it until you get it right, which you can do if you choose to, but I'm just trying to help you save time and filament. This is our inner heart. Now we have to make the outer heart. The outer heart has to be bigger than this because we want this to sit inside, and it can't sit inside if it's the same size. It'll just smack against each other and block each other out because you need space, right? Let's duplicate this by hitting the layer, making sure it's selected, and then hitting clone. From here, I'm going to use my gizmo tool to make it larger. It's this little button right here that looks like circles, a bunch of circles. And all I'm going to do is drag this outer circle. You see this red outer circle up here, hold that and drag it outwards to make it bigger. You'll know it's selected if it's highlighted, and go like this. You can also turn on the X-ray right here to show the inner heart and see where that sits. This should be a good amount of space, but it looks a little bit too roomy, so I'll make it smaller and drag this. This should be good. Maybe a bit bigger. All right, this should be good. Make it a little shorter and move it down. Do your fine adjustments here. I'm moving it about halfway down the original heart because you want room for the top heart to stick out, unless you want it to be flushed into your base where the hole will be that you'll insert the fidget clicker in. But I want the heart to sit at the top like this. So I'm just moving the bigger heart about halfway down, and you want to make sure you have space right here to insert your hole, or else you won't have enough room. Then it'll just be an open space right down the middle, opening at the bottom part, which we don't want. So just make sure that you have enough room like that. It's better to have too much room down here than not enough, because you can always trim that off in your slicer. So if this is too thick and let's say the hole fits like right here and you have all this extra space, that's fine, you can just slice it off. But I prefer to have more room than not enough, and then you have to go back in and redo it. This is good. Turn off X-ray. Now I have two hearts, one at the bottom and one at the top. You can go ahead and go in with your smooth tool if you want your lines to be smoother. Just select that and start messing around with it until these sides are smooth into how you want it to look. These are how my hearts look right now. I don't really want to smoothen it because I just want to make sure I can get through this tutorial, but these little lines, feel free to smoothen it with your smooth tool and they should go away. It does take a little bit more time, but if you want a good look, I recommend you smoothen it this way. At this point, you should have two layers. One is the smaller heart and the other is the larger heart that the inner heart sits in. Next up, we have to make the little insert that the heart goes in. So if we select the small heart, I'm going to show you how it looks if you don't cut a hole out and how it will print. If we move this small one up, it'll just be a solid area. And if it's a solid area, you can't really move this heart inside. So when it clicks, it won't click like that. When you go to use the fidget cutout and you have it in the middle, this part will actually lay on top. So it'll be like this. If you like this look, you can go ahead and fast forward to see how I insert the fidget clicker cutout. But if you want it to be flush like this, keep on watching, because there are two ways you can do that. You can do this way, or you can have it sit on the top. This part is easier. This part is a little more complicated, but if you're trying to learn, I got you. All right, this is where we want our heart to sit, right? Turn on X-ray to show you. We want it to be about right here. What we're going to need is a third heart, but this heart is going to be used as a cutout, so we can cut another heart out within the bigger one. You can either make this heart bigger like we did with this one, or you can duplicate it and make it smaller so that it's the inner insert. Let's duplicate this again, and I'm going to make this a different color just so you can see the difference between the hearts. I'll make it a purple color, that way you can see the difference clearly. Turn on X-ray to show you. This is the new heart that I added, and then this is the old one that I have, so the new one. I'm actually going to make the original heart smaller, and the reason you make this smaller is because if you don't make it small enough and it's the same size as the hole, it's kind of the same situation with what we first talked about. If they're the same size, you can't really put one in the other, right? Similar to if you were to put a cap on a jar, let's say, or you want to put a lid on a box. If you think about the lid part and the box is actually smaller than the overall sizing of the lid because the box needs to sit inside. That's similar to what we're doing here. So the heart needs to be small enough to sit inside the hole that we create. Hopefully that's making sense. All right, let's just do a quick rundown. The outer heart is the bottom part that we want the inner fidget to sit in, and this is the part where the fidget clicker will be inserted into. The second heart, that's the second biggest, will be the hole cutout, and we'll be using this to cut a hole out in the heart base. And then the smaller one right here is the second part of our fidget clicker. It'll be the top part, and this part will sit inside. You want to turn this eye off. What this does is it means that you don't want to show it, you want to hide it. It should look like this once you turn this eye off. So it hides it and it should be little dots. That's what you want. Now we want to merge them together. We'll select this one and we'll select the larger heart, hit Boolean. Now there is a hole within the heart. Once we go to lift up the smaller heart that we had, you see that there is a hole in our bottom base. And this is where the bottom part of our fidget clicker will sit in. So that little housing hole that you insert the clicker in, this will be the part. And then this one will have the top cross that you click onto the actual fidget clicker. Let's do another quick demonstration. I'll turn the X-ray on. Once you lower this and it sits right here, you see how it sits within the heart and not on top. That is how you create a fidget clicker like that. You have that additional space at the bottom where the heart can go down into. Now you have the bottom of your fidget clicker and the top of your fidget clicker made. From here, go ahead and decorate your cake if you'd like. If you want to add little sprinkles onto it, if you want to add icing, do whatever you think looks best with your cake. If you want it to be a multicolor, you can also do that. Just be sure to save it as an OBJ file so that it saves the color code. And when you go to upload it into your slicer, the colors are saved. This is how mine looks. Also, as a reminder, whenever you have parts that you want to stick together, you want to make sure that you voxel merge them together. You select all the layers that you want to save as one piece, hit Boolean, and then hit voxel merge. Now that's one entire layer, but they're all stuck together, so it melts these shapes together. When you go to export it, it is important that you export these as two separate files because you're going to have to make modifications to each of them separately. You do that by clicking the file button right here. Also save your design. Go down to export and hit one file per object, and it actually tells you how many files you have once you save them. Click that and that should save it as two separate objects, and then export them. The software that I'm using for my slicer is the Bamboo Studio software. I do have the Bamboo Lab A1 combo printer for anybody wondering. What you want to do is you want to go into your slicer and upload your files, remembering that we save them as separate files, so you should have two separate objects. I'm going to rotate it so that it's laying on its back. I rotate it using this rotate option at the top toolbar of my slicer, and then I'll do it like that. And I'll recolor this. This is what it's going to look like at the end. When we go to make our cutouts, the colors aren't going to stay the same. You're going to have to recolor it after you make all the cutouts that you need to. However, this is what it will look like in the end. First things first, I am going to slice the bottom of both of them to make it flat. So you kind of see how the bottom of our model isn't entirely flat. It's a bit bumpy. We want to make sure that it's completely flat along with the top. So I want to make the top and the bottoms flat. I do so by using this tool right here, the cut tool. This line should show up. Uncheck the purple box because we don't want to save it, and I'll lower it until it looks good. Perform cut. It should slice the bottom off. Now it should be completely flat, and I'll also do the same thing to the other one. There we go. I'll do the top of this as well to make it smoother since it is a bit bumpy. Now I have a flat top and a flat bottom. The next part is the trickiest part. It's to insert the fidget clicker hole. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using my fidget clicker hole cutout template that I made. If you want to grab it, I'll have it linked down below. It comes with all the cutout templates that you need to make different products for your small business, and you can sell your products with them. You can also find fidget clicker holes online for free if you'd like, but the only thing is, if you're planning to sell them, most of them don't offer commercial usage rights, so you're gonna have to only use them for your personal crafts, and you can't use them to make fidget clickers to sell. However, if you are a small business and you're trying to make your own fidget clickers, but you don't want to go through the hassle of taking your own measurements, trying to make your own precise cuts, going through the trial and error, then I'll leave the bundle down below, and you can use my cutout to make any of your designs into fidget clickers and also sell them. But I'm gonna import them, and I'm gonna do that by going to File, Import, and I like to import it as a separate shape rather than a part. I'll upload both of them. All right, and then I like to recolor them so I know which one is the whole cutout, just as a reference. As you can see, our whole cutouts are much larger than the actual design that we uploaded. What we want to do is select both of them and resize them so that they're large enough for the hole inserts to be in, like this. This looks good. You can see an outline, and we'll check the other one. This one looks good. The next step is to center your designs. Depending on what you want to do first, you can center the top 2 pieces first, or you can center the bottom 2 pieces first. I'm going to do the bottom first. You want to right click on that, hit center, do the same thing for this part, which will be the bottom of the clicker. Now it'll be right there. Next step, you want to move your actual design downwards until you see the pink part show up. You see how that pink shows up? That's what we want. Now select both of them, hit this mesh boolean tool, subtract, and make sure that the whole cutout is green, because that's what's going to be subtracted from our design. See, it shows you up here as well. If it's not, if it's inverted, so if the outside is green and the inside is blue, just hit this to swap them and you should be good to go. There you go. There should be a hole in your design. That is where you'll insert the actual fidget clicker. Do the same thing for the top. So we right click this, hit center, right click this, hit center. Look at the bottom. Instead of this one being at the top of the design, we're going to have it at the bottom, because remember, this is going to sit on top of the base part. Now select both of them, do the same exact thing. It looks like that. Now the top part has the little cross that you need to put on top of the fidget clicker, and the bottom has the in-house part. From there, you can go ahead and color your models, hit slice plate, and then print it out. That is how you make your very own hard cake fidget clicker. If you enjoyed today's tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to see more tutorials. I post a bunch of new beginner-friendly tutorials and small business tips and tricks. Until then, I'll see you in my next video.